Hello, my name is Strolina, and the program I'm currently in is my bachelor's program for Generalist Human Services. I'm almost done, but this video is for my Addiction Family Counseling HUS 4442 course, and the movie I chose for this assignment was Walk the Line. Walk the Line is a film that is based off the life of Johnny Cash. And if you don't know who Johnny Cash is, he's sung Walk the Line and Ring of Fire for two songs that you might know. But this movie follows his early life to his crazy rise to fame and his life with June Carter and his struggles with, bear with me, amphetamines and alcohol. So, a little bit about Johnny's past is that his father, Ray, and him never had the best relationship. It was pretty complex. Ray never really cared for Johnny in the sense of he wasn't as goal oriented as his brother Jack was, and that inevitably drove Johnny and Ray apart. And unfortunately, there was a very tragic accident that happened to Jack, and it took his life. And Ray did put blame on that for, well, Ray put the blame on Johnny for that, and then Johnny was never the same. Johnny just had to take the blame for his brother's death and his father blaming him, and just his older brother dying in general is very traumatic. But Johnny married his first wife back before his music career really took off, but there were still struggles in between that marriage, and eventually that led to divorce because he also struggled with his addiction to uh, his addiction, and he also had an affair with his future wife June Carter. But Johnny's addiction really started to impact his family and his career. For example, one time he was on stage performing and he collapsed on stage, and he apparently was having an overdose right there. There was also another time where he kicked the lights in while performing because he was intoxicated. And then while not performing, he was drunkenly trying to drive a tractor like up this hill and eventually like fell into the pond, lake, river that was behind their house, and I guess had said that he had wanted to die. Um, but thankfully he had June Carter, and June Carter became a crucial role in helping his addiction and helping him find a balance between his life and his career. And she was able to do that by supporting him, showing him love and encouragement that he needed to overcome all of his difficulties and challenges. So, if they were to come into my office, we could try working on a few things. One thing we could work on as a family would be solution focused family therapy, and that would help highlight the strengths and resilience within the family of everything that's been going on, um, and how they can support each other and continue to support each other during it all. I would work with the family to try to understand the dynamic and what we could do to help build trust and rapport once again. Or we could also discuss cognitive behavioral family therapy, which would be when we would be able to help the family identify and modify negative behaviors. So, what are the behaviors that lead up to Johnny wanting to do the drugs or drink the alcohol? What keeps happening negatively that we can change into a positive so those temptations won't happen? Um, One thing I would really want to work on with Johnny is motivational interviewing. I feel like that's really important in a sense for him because he needs to want to change. It's great that his family wants him to change, but it's an inner battle he's having with himself. We would want to help build his motivation to pursue a healthier lifestyle for himself and his family. Um, and I'm not saying every story is the same way, but I feel a lot of it is that addicts only will change when they want to, or any kind of situation. People change only when they want to do it. And we would want to try to help him find that in him to want to change. I know it's not really repetitive, but um, another thing I would want to do is work on his emotional struggles, because I I have some emotional struggles that I'm dealing with, and I couldn't imagine having to deal with my dad not really caring for me, and then let alone blaming me for his son's death, and then me having to deal with the not being able to grieve my brother's death because of all of it. I would really want to work on that with him and see if that was like an underlying problem that led to more of his addictions and his struggles. And like he's never felt good enough for his dad, which could lead into him always wanting the approval of others. I would really hope that we'd be able to help Johnny realize that he's loved and cared for and doesn't really need to depend on those that alcohol or the amphetamines. And I would hope we would be able to give the family some tools to help him along his journey, if that would be to get him into a couple of rehabs, or if it's to get him into rehabs and he fails, okay, let's do it again, let's try again. Or to find things to help him with his personal wellness, if it's to find him specific activities or a coping strategy, or the family can do together so we can see that it's a family lifestyle that he would want again. Or we could work on what triggers him. So if it's a negative thought or an anger issues, what can we do to help avoid those triggers? And then I also would want to help the family be able to catch the warning signs, or help protect help the potential issues if we can avoid them, so we wouldn't be so tempted to do the drugs or drink that bottle of liquor sitting in the cabinet. So we could hopefully not go down the path of relapsing. Ultimately, I hope that we'll be able to help him with his battle of addiction, dis- and help him remember, despite his struggles, he has done so much in the music industry and for his family, and that he can overcome these problems and continue on with a healthy lifestyle. Um, I really hope we could get through to him and his family that recovery is possible, and that he's not alone, and that it's definitely okay that he was in the room with us seeking help and wanting to change and be better. So I I hope this video has been helpful, and I can't wait to see some of the comments that you guys will put on there. But yeah, thanks for watching.